Here we are tripping into the Venus retrograde zone. This place is a madhouse. I feel so all alone. Plus, we're deep into a deep solar minimum, and deep solar minimums suck. Have you noticed the suckiness? All right, we got 100 days without sunspots. 2020 is not even 5 months old. Already, there have been 100 days without sunspots. This is a sign that solar minimum is underway. So far this year, the sun has been blank 76% of the time, a rate surpassed only once before in the space age. Last year, 2019, the sun was blank 77% of the time. 2 consecutive years of record-setting sunspotless adds up to a very deep solar minimum indeed. Hey, but good news, noctilucent clouds are back, and they are colorful. And so, who doesn't like a little color in their life? But with the Venus retrograde, the deep solar minimum, you'd better be preparing for some wild, wacky mid-May weather. And I ain't going to lie, because that is definitely not part of my brand. This May's hit me like a stack of bricks falling from Mars. I know, gravity and stuff. And so, like, this month is going to be a bit of winter, it's going to be a bit of spring, and it's going to be a bit of summer. And so we are definitely getting an exceptional amount of snow, cold, sleet, ice, and stuff. This May, it's a weird year all around. Wouldn't you agree? And then we might get some tornadic action somewhere near Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. And maybe just some straight line winds, but some heavy rains and stuff. As we are watching this precipitation map over the next 48 hours, we see we might have some trouble along the way. And so New Mexico, keep an eye out. New Mexico's a beautiful area. Remember when you used to travel? I do. All right. Well, for me, it was like 4 years ago. All right. What's it talking about? We're looking at problem areas. So this is over 48 hours from now. This is 72 hours from now. So we got possible tornadoes to look out for in the New Mexico and Texas area today. And then 72 hours from now, we got double yellow spots to watch out for, which would be Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, and Texas. And then even Iowa, Des Moines. I like saying Des Moines. I want some Des Moines moist cake with some white frosting. Or lemon frosting, that's fine. But this is no joke. So that's right, days 3 and day 4, we're going to have some stormy weather. The big story in all this is going to be the rain. This is over the next week. And as you can see, the Pacific Northwest will be getting some pretty heavy rain. And then holy smokes, Texas, Oklahoma, the Midwest, and then up into the Northeast will be getting some heavy, heavy rain. So that is definitely going to be something to look out for. May, second half of May, or the last 2/3 are going to be pretty wild. And then whenever Venus retrograde happens, people get extra crazier. And then the weather gets extra crazier because Venus is really close to Earth. Did I make that point? Let me check that out. This is not to size. Earth and Venus are pretty much the same size. And so they are neck and neck. And I would guess at this point they're not getting along because it doesn't really feel like anyone is getting along these days. And so as I was mentioned, with the heavier balance with all the planets, the gas giants, and almost all the planets are on the same side of the sun. Now Mercury being the only one out, we can expect some volcano and earthquake activity. And can I tell you a secret? Don't tell anybody, because the rumor was they killed Art Bell because Art Bell started telling people that the Earth's core naturally produces petroleum. Anywho, let's go with that thought process for a second. And remember, don't tell anybody. This is a THORnews Astro Fight Club secret. Because we don't want anybody to die. Especially me. Anywho, so along that thought process line, knowing that they'd been extracting tons of petroleum out of the core of Earth for a while, part of me believes that was for volcano and earthquake management. So now that civilization and the economy is pretty much ground to a halt and they've stopped petroleum extraction on major levels, we are looking for more earthquake and volcano activity in 2020 than we originally expected from all the gas giants being on the same side. Now we're probably going to have the rest of the year to play that out to see if I'm correct. Because I don't care what you believe, man, but these lockdowns are going to go on and off for the rest of the year. I'm telling you that right now. You can believe whatever you want to, but I can almost guarantee you that in the fall, the lockdowns are coming back and even worse than they were now. And that's just the way it is. I try and share the truth, and people don't want to hear it, and then they get mad at me, and they stick to their own political biases when I'm right down the middle, dude. I don't believe in politics. I don't like politicians at all. I believe politicians are here to distract us. Anywho, so we had a major 4.5 earthquake along the Mexico-California border. We had a 4.5, 4.7 earthquake in British Columbia. If you notice a straight line, and then we had a bit of a, what was that, like a 4.7 in Alaska. And we had a pretty major volcano eruption. I forget where it was. Well, we've been getting some upticks in volcanic activity. We had like 2 or 3 6s in the last week. There was a big one in Greece, man. That was a weird one. It was like a 6.6 in Greece. Look at this. This is some pretty crazy European activity. And a lot of it is happening along the same longitude lines. Long means lay, or is it lat? I forget. I don't know. All right. What am I talking about? And then we are only 25 days away from it being eclipse season again. And as if things weren't crazy enough, we're going to have an eclipse in the middle of that 40-day, 40-night Venus retrograde season. So it is going to be off the chain and off the hook. But man, I can't wait till solar maximum returns. But you know, after all the major storms of life, then you get the double rainbow. Can't get the rainbow without the storms. And so, even though it feels like the world is ending, it is not. Empires rise and fall on solar minimum, solar maximum. And so we are in deep solar minimum. There's no doubt about that. And so, yeah, our empires are kind of crumbling. All of them. Socialism, capitalism, and communism. Apparently, they all have flaws. And people keep asking, hey, what day is today? And it's May Day. Every day in May is May Day. Pretty much, in my opinion. You can have your own opinion. That's how life works. I'd say one of the most impressive shots of the Kelvin Helmholtz clouds captured. This was from 2017, and some from really passive geoengineering. Asterisk, that was a joke. Was it funny? I got to get my sense of humor back. Check out Mrs. Stephanie Abrams bringing us a phenomenal snow squall over Staten Island, as seen from Sawarin, New Jersey. Where have I heard of New Jersey before? Oh, yeah, it's a state in the United States. Okay. But in this wave after wave after wave, when the sun acts weird, earth weather acts weird, and people act weird, 2020 edition, Jim Cantore is pointing out it wouldn't be May 2020 or just 2020 for that matter if the pattern just didn't completely flip-flop later this week. This will bring a lot of active weather to the plains and the Great Lakes of the United States of America. And so it'll be like super hot and super cold, and then super hot and then super cold again. And you'll be like, what month is it? It'll be like, it don't matter, but it's May Day. But yeah, it's also 2020. Jim Cantore falling into the trap of saying, can we just go back to something? Everybody's doing it nowadays where time travels forward. So no, we can't just go back to March weather-wise. And I'm chubby, and a Norwegian Viking, so I like the cold weather. Or the coolness in Texas. I'm in Texas, so it just gets cool. It doesn't really get cold. Danny's got a red garden and a handlebar mustache, letting us know that the Sakurajima volcano current status is an erupting volcano. And we will be watching, like I said, more volcanoes across the earth and earthquakes as with the gas giants on the same side and the lack of petroleum extraction. Industrial engineer Irene Kjorres letting us know the sun at times we observe several eruptions that have had a beautiful prominence dancing on the southeast and southwest sides. Well, it's good to know at least somebody's dancing these days. Dance, 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 dance to fever. And sometimes earthquake magnitudes are like opinions, because I've seen this range anywhere from a 4.5 to a 5. We're talking about Ocotillo, California, and we will keep an eye out. So remember, we had a 7.0 in California in last year, in July. Here it was listed as a 5. But yeah, Halo CME, there was an interesting eruption that led to a CME. It was more clearly seen at 171A. A flux rope-like structure shows untwisting motions. Curious how it goes further from the sun. Please post a Suvi movie. All right, sounds good. Atlas is dimming and breaking up, but not down for the count. Here, Dave, the indoor cat Dickinson, showing us Comet C 2019 Y4 Atlas, and we've still got Comet Swan to watch, although it is getting dimmer now, I think. But then we got another super comet to watch that will magnify in July, so we got time to watch for that stuff. We had some El Derecho severe storms continue to push through Ohio, Cleveland, to east of Columbus, seeing the possibility of gusty storms with tree power lines issues. Be safe out there, friends, in Ohio to western Pennsylvania. That storm's passed, though, I think. James Wilson, the Tornado Kid, is letting us know severe storms, cold rain, and some snow through early week for the Northeast. Behind this mess, more record cold lows. May 2020 wild weather continues. James Peacock, strutting his stuff, letting us know these predicted temperature anomalies over the Arctic this coming week put me in mind of washing machine cycle on a hot spin. The occasional near-surface temps may exceed 0 Celsius at times, which is exceptionally early in the melting season. So you get your hot. It's like a McDLT, where the hot side stays hot and the cold side stays cold, but it's like a lava lamp, so they rotate around on their sides. You know what I'm saying? Earth's weather's crazy. Plane season is back, and they should. Looks good. That orange over the mid-Atlantic sure looks fun. What is he talking about? I don't even know. Stuff, I imagine. Tornado Kid again. Severe storms as forecast roaring across the Midwest with our Clipper system. Next stop, the Northeast, with more storms on Monday, which is today. Keep your guard up. Right now, 382,000 people without power, with trees coming down on power lines in Indiana and Ohio. Yeah, dude, the QPF is going to be worth watching. Quality precipitation forecast or something. And the hot, cold dance is not just the United States. It is also for Europe, as a cold front with sharp temperature change and storms over Central Europe over the next 24 hours. Much colder weather was spread behind the cold front, likely 15 to 20 degrees change in less than 12 hours tomorrow. Some snow will also be possible. But hopefully the worst parts of my May depression are over, and I, like you, can be staying cool through Wednesday. But using daily highs as a general idea, you can see how 60s and 70s and even 80s dominate after that. Notice a couple backdoor cold fronts will likely deal with to interrupt, but general pattern is changing. Summer is coming. Eventually, I imagine, Eventually. Probably not May, but eventually. But yo, Adrian Laser, what a cool name. Interaction of two outflow boundaries with an existing storm system. Unfortunately, resulting storms fired few miles east of his location. It's not all about you, Laser. That was being jokey. I like radar loops. Continues to do an excellent job, and that's why, with all the things going on, I'm really not that worried about hurricanes this season. And everybody's like, Thor, you're wrong. But I want to say, no, I was wrong last year when I thought hurricanes were going to hit us, and then the atmospheric defense team stepped up. So yeah, it's geoengineering to protect us. That may drive you crazy, but everybody's crazy these days. All right, now we're going to be looking at the models. And if you will watch that low pressure system that continues to try to fight to get to the coast, but somehow, once again, it keeps it off the bay. Well, I didn't say that very well. But like I said, I'm watching these models like a hawk, mostly every run. And I'm just not that worried about hurricanes this season. I'm just one man. Cranky Weather Guy is my unofficial partner. And then there's Dada Boo. There's a lot of people watching. And so last year's the year I was wrong, and I just not worried about hurricane season. This year, if we have something to worry about, I will be the first to tell you. But earlier models had this low pressure system developing and then hitting the coast, and then I slowly watched as pressure pushed it off. Because what they do is they separate the low from the rain, and then they push it, and it seemed to work. almost all of last year. But we're going to get some heavy rain this year, and we're going to have some river flooding. And, it's 2020, so anything goes. But I'm just saying, out of all the things I've got to worry about or be concerned about now as Planetary Defense Commander, hurricanes is not really one of them. Which is weird because everybody else is saying we're going to have a major, nasty hurricane season. But here, Cranky Weather Guy, the best weatherman on the planet, is saying if you want to play the game of almost, then the follow-up would have been the sought-after historic winter storm event. The issue is the same. It has been all 2019-2020 long. All right, remember last year when it looked like we were going to get hit by a bunch of hurricanes, including Dorian, which just stopped and then went up the coast, and then most other major storms just followed the coast and then went out, right? Elongated stream flow deny more typical connections you'd expect to see occur. This is a good thing. So we're like the way that it used to go where we get major hurricanes, that just isn't happening anymore. And so that is a good thing. For those of us on the defense team, I really think we have atmospheric defense in place. And so I'm not that worried about hurricane season this year for the first time in 5 years. But dang, I got a lot of other concerns on my mind, Mostly people, though. Mostly people. Why can't people get along? But definitely have your hurricane preparations in place, just in case I'm wrong. And I will continue to watch for everybody. See, like originally models had this basically formed, hit here, or it hit there, or it hit, and then it just kept getting pushed off. And it's like the trend we saw all last year. And so until that trend changes, I'm not going to expect it to change. And so, it's nice to have people that are looking out for you. And so I want you to know, Asteroid Fight Club, I am grateful for you. I love you guys. You guys are awesome and amazing. Even though we disagree. And, I just want to remind you guys that at no point in time was me or my channel ever based on loving a politician. No point in time have I been like, hey guys, this politician's great. You should listen to whatever the hell he says. And so if your life centers around you needing people to love politicians and respect and worship whatever the hell they say, well, THORnews is not the place for you. I say that emphatically, Okay. But I love you guys. And, if you can afford to have one person on the planet who doesn't agree with politicians and politics, then you keep me in your data set. Okay? All right. It's nice to have people outside of the binary red, blue, think state, hive mind stuff. Right? Am I right? All right. I love you guys. Everybody stay cool. Yeah, but May is going to be a doozy. Okay. And there will be weird surges of rose-colored glasses and romance over the next 42 days with Venus retrograde. So we'll see what happens. And I'll be here for you, I hope. Okay, great. Peace out. God bless everyone. I missed you.